My favorite video game is Nier Automata, and as many of you know, it changed me as a person. As a result of finishing Nier Automata, I reflected on my past, my current, and where I wanted to be in the future. It made me realize that isolation and loneliness are diseases, ones that will lead to mental ruin and This might all sound like a lesson not needed. Perhaps most people understood this always, but I am anything but a fast learner when it comes to human beings. And I was not alone in that. People worldwide praise Nier Automata for helping them become okay with just existing. Recently, I started reading The Songs of Distant Earth by Arthur C. Clarke. The story struck me from page 1, and it managed to move tears from me very early when a rather existential moment took place. The idea of a seeding ship finally landing on what could become a new home for humanity gave me a bit of a shiver. In the story, it is seen as a hopeful moment for humanity, proof that we can continue despite the Earth evicting us, and it is quite hopeful. But it is also very existential. What if humanity had never created the technology for space travel? What if we were forced to just lay down and go extinct? It could have been a matter of a few flubbed equations keeping us from succeeding, too. Games and other media that deal with existential themes are abundant. There seems to be no shortage of them recently, possibly due to how fucked up the world currently is. People are lonely, depressed, disconnected, and they crave experiences that make them feel things. Some of my favorite pieces of media are what I'd call meaningful. In Death Stranding, the remnants of humanity are barely hanging on by a thread as they face an otherworldly threat against them, a threat that's goal is total extinction of mankind. The reveal in Nier Replicant has your character confront whether his life has meaning, whether he's been fighting against an unbeatable fate, whether or not he was ever supposed to exist in the first place. Donnie Darko is a movie that shows characters being manipulated by unseen forces to fulfill a task. These manipulative forces don't care if Donnie lives or dies, just that he does what they ask of him. Essentially, Donnie's existence is meaningless to those entities. He has a purpose, he's been reduced to a tool, same as Frank, and these unseen forces will not hesitate to ruin his life, as well as Frank's, to get what they want. Donnie has a purpose, one he's been selected for, but does that make his life meaningful? Neon Genesis Evangelion directly confronts extinction while showing its main character's struggle through inner turmoil caused by horrific traumas no child should ever have to confront. This anime is probably the best example on this list of a piece of media that comforts people despite it being such a depressing ride. All of the mentioned works involve one ongoing theme: human extinction. Many people don't realize this about Donnie Darko, but the reason Donnie and Frank, as well as the people around them, were being manipulated is because they've slipped into an alternative universe. This universe is slowly coming apart at the seams, and it could cause a rift throughout all the universes. Donnie needs to ensure this splinter universe is destroyed, bringing everyone back into the main universe. This is why at the end of the film, you see a bunch of characters deep in thought. They are remembering or imagining the events of the Splinter universe, waking up from it as though it were nothing more than a nightmare. So yes, Donnie Darko is confronting human extinction, just in a roundabout way. Art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. The reason this quote has stuck with me through all the years is that it rings true in many cases. Whether we're talking about Dazai's degenerate confessions of Yoko Taro's games, what you've got are art pieces that speak with a subset of disturbed, lonely, possibly outcast people. There are countless human beings who feel alone in this world, abandoned and discarded by other people, and devoid of any expressed meaning to their life. Sometimes the only thing that comforts those in that situation is some form of art, be it a book, video game, movie, etc. I think engaging with media that has the audacity to directly confront unanswerable questions is popular with the depressed and downtrodden because a lot of us are searching for answers to those questions. A lot of us are looking for hope in a hopeless world. A lot of us just want something to tell us, hey, it'll be all right. Many people struggle with getting a foothold in the world, with their sense of identity, with questions of why they're here, what their purpose is. I think most people want to have meaningful experiences, and they want to do something worth a damn during their lives. We are constantly craving catharsis, comfort, to learn new things about ourselves and the world around us. We crave expressing ourselves in some form. But have you ever wondered why this is? What are we getting out of these emotional expressions? What are we getting out of sharing stories and sadness with others? what are we getting out of these experiences that mean so much to us? Positive feelings. That's it. Take a moment to consider how we crave making an impact, how we crave good stories, how we crave those moments that make life worth it. What do they all come down to? Simply feeling good. There aren't any keys to the universe being given to us when we consume a good piece of art or cuddle with a loved one. Rather, what's being handed down are emotional escapes from the reality of living in this cruel world. Sometimes we relate to a character or a story, and it makes us realize we aren't alone. That's wonderful, but it is nothing more than a good feeling, a temporary relief. This makes existence futile. Existence is a horrific experience that only offers relief when you go looking for it. When you play a video game, there is a very clear objective, a goal, and a reason for being there. In the game of life, these things aren't defined. You are thrust into the world and basically told to figure shit out or die trying. And, oh yeah, you also will have a burning desire to survive. Funny how that works, since the only guarantee in life is death, but no one's ever accused the universe of not having a sense of humor and not being ironic. The game of life is absurd, and it's rigged. When it comes down to it, I often wonder what the hell makes things meaningful anyway, and how come the idea of not having any meaning, which is flimsy terminology to begin with, is so horrifying. It's no secret that you can sit on your ass and exist without a purpose and be just fine. So why then do I get this feeling that I must do something more? Despite knowing I can exist without a deeper purpose or meaning, I crave a meaningful life. I want to leave something behind that says, yes, she was here, she made an impact. I want my time here not to be wasted. I want to be remembered for something beyond just existing. This could be ego. This could be an inferiority complex. This could be because of my mental illness. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter where it comes from. What matters is that it is a gnawing feeling I have always had. It is my suspicion that the true reason for wanting to be heard is because I have spent my life feeling unwelcome in the world. In some way, I want to fight back and tell the world I matter, because for the longest time, the world has told me I have no value.
I have something to defend. I have a reason to live.
Regardless, it has been a struggle and a half to convince myself it's okay for me to continue living when I seemingly have nothing special to offer to the world. Most people exist to exist, and that should be okay, right? But what if I told you there isn't a single person on this planet who is just existing? The very nature of you being here is making an impact, whether you recognize it or not. There are many people who will be changed by you in some way, shape, or form. No matter how minute, a change will happen. You might speak a certain way and they catch on to that. You might tell them a story that changes their outlook. I remember a guy I went to school with once told me that he never took his own life because me and a few others were nice to him when the rest of the world told him he didn't matter. Us just telling him hi, asking how he was, showing him the kindness people deserve. This kept him alive. Your lack of existence would fundamentally change many things. Your family, your friends, maybe even the events in your hometown. There is no possible way someone's life can be meaningless and without purpose when the simple act of them existing has so much impact. You telling one person hello might be nothing to you and everything to them. Just because you don't know the impact you've made doesn't mean you haven't made one. When you were born, you changed the lives of everyone around you, and when you die, you will cause pain to those who love you. You changed the world by being in it. You have a purpose and a meaning. Do not tell yourself you must justify your existence. Your existence was justified the day you were born.